Yoo-hoo! Mina! How's it going? It's been a long time. I'm sorry. I've been so caught up in my head, and you know me. You know me. I'm ADD. I'm all over the place. I'm trying to get my chainmail started, so I'm on that hustle. Um, I've kind of been isolating myself because of it. I haven't really been talking to a lot of my friends or anything, or I've just been just making chainmail and just focusing on work and exploring other things in the future. Just thinking about the crane project as well. I just bought 86 feet of some stainless steel chain to make like a curtain base for the tree project. And we picked out a branch in my brother-in-law's backyard, and I think it's a good idea because I think the universe sent me a little message. If you're on the Vloggerino group, you've already heard this, but I when I was picking out, my brother-in-law came up with an idea, and I came up with an idea of hanging the just having a tree branch as a base, like to at the top of the piece. And so when I went out in their backyard to just look at the tree, because he was like, "Why don't you just go look and see if we have something in the back, on the tree that we haven't cut down yet." And when I was looking, there were two cardinals in the tree hopping around on the branches, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness, this is kind of almost prophetic to me," because Peter keeps saying in his vlogs that when before his mother passed, she said that he would, if she were to ever come visit him, that she would come as a cardinal. And so when I saw those two female cardinals, I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is kind of like, oh, she's saying hi to me," and like maybe her good Judy's with her. She brought her along to see what was going on, and see what was up, and I feel like maybe that I'm on the right path, after seeing those cardinals. So I'm very uh, like I look out for stuff like that in the universe when like the universe tries to send you a message, here and there. So I try to keep an eye open, an ear open sometimes, to see if there's something, you know, taking me in a certain direction. I'm very feather like, you know, blowing around. um, uh, we played D&D today with our friends, and it was really fun. My husband designed a chariot race for us, so like a Coliseum event as well, and it was really fun. We won the race, of course, because we just killed everybody. I I basically just used Fireball, which is like a very powerful wizard spell. I'm a wizard in the game. I'm a changeling, so I can change my appearance. Um, I normally pick something really sexy and like. This time I went with something really flashy and sexy, like a cat lady, with big, big boobs and skimpy clothes. And I just have fun with it, and I'm just over the top, just flashy and extravagant and just a showman. And so was my partner for the chariot race. Like one of us was driving the chariot, and then I was the one throwing attacks out. But he was also able to throw attacks. but we were both being like very flashy and everything. It was really fun. And my final move to kill the last person before doing a fireball, uh, I pretended to sneeze. I was like, achoo! And then I had like a pillar of fire just erupt onto the last person, and it just incinerated them. It was pretty funny. Um, so yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit loopy because I'm tired. But during the our session, I made a little piece of Chainmail as well. I made a little rainbow chain, like the dainty bracelet that you saw before, and little chain earrings, and put little blue rings in between, and made a little chain pendant as well. So it's a little set that I'm going to sell on my Etsy. And I'm also working on this one. I don't like how it turned out. I think it's a little too many leaves on itself. Like, it's just one earring. I'm working on this one. I'm gonna start doing chainmail while I talk to you guys, because I realize that it's difficult for me to sit in silence when I'm doing chainmail. Usually I'll find something to watch, but if it's like something that will pull my attention away, like I need to visually watch, then I tend to lean away from those because I have to see what I'm doing. But I like to listen to, there's this guy who does scam baiting, they call it, is where they waste scammers' time by, detracting them from stealing from other people. And there's this guy called Kitboga, Kitboga, and he's so freaking funny. He has this voice changer, and he disguises his voice as an old lady some of the times, or an old guy, and he'll have like conversations with them. He'll say the most ridiculous stuff. It's absolutely hilarious what he gets away with saying, to these scammers, and they just totally like brush it off or believe him. It's just so funny. It's hilarious. And so I'll listen to some of those, and it's so funny. And but I'm all caught up. Like, I'm literally caught up on all of his content, including his unedited like 10-hour calls and stuff like that. I'll listen to those at work, and as well as Peter Mon. I'll listen to him at work as well, while I'm packing. So yeah, and I've been, so I'm gonna do. It's like 10 o'clock or something right now, but I don't want to go to sleep yet. Maybe I should. But but I've been selling some chainmail. I sold another bracelet to one of my former coworkers at Lowe's, and she really loved it. She bought it for a friend of hers. She said she loves having giving handmade gifts, because it's so unique and special. And I'm really happy that she's supported me in my work. It was very sweet of her. A lot of my friends have been, purchasing from me, and I really appreciate it. So thank you guys for helping support me and my craft. I really appreciate it, even though I'm just kind of starting out. It's been a hobby for me since Father's Day last year. I got into chainmail because I didn't know. I'm the type of person where I don't make a crap ton of money. So whenever I see something really expensive that's really cool to me, I get frustrated and I try to make it myself for cheaper. And uh, when there was a Father's Day tie competition at the store at Macy's that I work at, and I didn't have anything to bring, and I didn't know what to do. So I was like, okay, let me see if I can just get a last minute thing on Amazon or something. And I just looked up unique ties, and I saw this really cool silver chainmail tie, and I'm like, whoa, like, what is that? Like, what is chainmail? Like, I mean, I know what chainmail is. It's from, I've seen Lord of the Rings. You see medieval stuff. It's the armor that they wear underneath their plate armor, and I was like, oh my goodness, like they make that into jewelry and like ties. You can make ties out of it. I'm like, what? So I looked up a tutorial of it, and I'm like, oh, like maybe I could try this. So I bought the rings that they mentioned in the tutorial, and I gave a shot at it. It was very difficult. I was cussing and swearing up a storm for like 4 hours trying to figure out the basic first weave, which is a European 4-in-1 weave, and it was just so difficult to me. But I finally got it, and since then, each weave that I've learned has become easier as I go. Besides the, Persian 3-in-1, half Persian 3-in-1 was difficult. I think I showed that to you on my last video. It was hard. That was hard too. It didn't take me as long as 4-in-1, but the European 4-in-1, but it took a bit to learn that one. A lot of patience. I had to step away several times. I'm learning how to step away. That's something that I'm learning with chainmail. I'm learning how to take a deep breath, step back, come back to it at another time. Otherwise, I just get pissed and I just stop, and I can't afford to do that anymore because I'm just hoarding all this stuff that I don't know what to do with because I keep on trying to learn new crafts. So, yeah, so I'm getting good at it, I think. But yeah, I've been enjoying myself with making chainmail, and I'm finally starting to be disciplined, or I don't know. I guess I was for some time at work. I was worried that I was gonna lose my job for attendance, so and when I got COVID, like I had some extra time. It felt like I was able to like resign myself to like, hey, I can do this. I can do this. Maybe I won't sell a lot of it, but at least I can start putting it up on Etsy. Like I have an Etsy. I did make it. I did sell one thing on my Etsy, but like now I want to try and push myself a little bit harder and get these products up on Etsy because I want to keep making more, and I can't afford the material as it is right now with 4 days a week at work. Right now, I'm just basically covering bills and doctor's visits. My doctor's visits are so expensive. Oh my god. My insurance is terrible this year because I'm doing it through the marketplace, but my husband said that we're going to try and get on his workplace insurance. I don't know that it's going to be better or worse, honestly. I feel like everything's up in the air right now as far as insurance and health insurance. For everybody, like for when we renew next year. So, I just worry about that a lot because I can't. It's just my medications cost an arm and a leg, and my doctor's visit. My primary care doctor costs $105 to visit. It's like, you better not get sick. you know, it's like it's too much. So, um, like I just paid $85 to go see a neurologist. Because I've been with my tardive dyskinesis that I've had since I stopped taking the Regulin medication for my gastroparesis. Um, uh, the the twitching has been spreading throughout my body and getting worse. So my primary care doctor said that's not supposed to happen. So where they're going to do an MRI of my brain to make sure. She doesn't think that there's anything really wrong with my brain, but she's going to do it as a precaution, which is going to be some money. And yeah, she said I have like some slight neuropathy in my feet. She ordered some blood work. She said I could have like a B12 deficiency that could be related to like brain fog, because I have a dissociative disorder that I've been dealing with. But as far as I can recall, I think at one point I was even taking B12 shots, and I still was having problems with my dissociative disorder. So I don't know. So I was just wondering. I brought it up to her because I don't know. I'm wondering if like my sleep apnea is so bad that like it's been depriving my brain of oxygen over time or something, and so like it's been my memory has been getting worse, and like I can't like process things as quickly and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't really know about that, but we're gonna. She's given me the run. She's giving me all the tests that I need in order to rule everything out. So hopefully I can maybe find some answers. And she also mentioned that there was just this disorder where you just twitch, and like that's there's nothing you can do about it. You will twitch for the rest of your life, and I really hope not, because it's really itchy. And she said it does get worse with stress too, and it does get worse with stress for me as well. So we'll see. Yeah, wish me luck. Um, but yeah, at least I'm getting that checked out so I can rule everything out. Yeah, done. And if it's just a dissociative disorder, I gotta practice like being mindful, and like I think there's like a technique where you see three things, hear three things, feel three things. When you like wherever you go, like you're practicing being present in the moment and being physically present in the moment as well. And I haven't been doing that for like years. So I'm just like totally checked out of my mind, and like I feel like I'm not in my body, and I'm like it feels like I'm in a video game kind of like, but I'm not playing my character. It feels like society is the video game, and it feels like my body is kind of being run by a society and not by myself. Like I feel like I'm bound to these choices of um, what society dictates as like functional, or like like you have to make money in order to live. So like I'm working in a corporate environment, you know, and like it's not what I, you know, it's not very fun because you feel like you're a cog in a machine a lot of the time. Um, so I want to break free of this. You know, I'm hoping someday I can use YouTube as a way to break free of the corporate environment because I'm tired. You know, I feel like why am I alive? Why am I alive if it means that I have to fight so hard to make so little and it's so stressful? And you just, no matter how hard you work in your current job, you can't get ahead because those positions are taken and spoken for. Or I'm not very good at managerial experience and I have to be on the sales floor talking to people and social interaction at a level 15, you know, like it's just daunting to me sometimes. So you know, like uh, I feel like other people can relate to that sentiment, you know, where you just feel like you're not valued in your job and you feel like they're just taking a piss out of you sometimes, or like you're not, you're living paycheck to paycheck. So it's like, what's the point, you know? If I'm not enjoying my life, if I'm not able to save for vacations, if I'm not able to save up enough to move out of the crappy apartment I'm in, like, why am I here? Like, why do I exist at all? Like, what is life for? You know, like, am I supposed to just make money for rich people? You know, like, is that what society, like, that's essentially what American society is based off of right now, is like we're cogs in a wheel to help the 1% make their money. You know, it's like, um why are we doing this to ourselves as a society? And I think people are starting to catch on. You know, I think people are starting to realize that it's not fun anymore. It's fucking brutal. It's exhausting. It's life draining. It's painful. There's so many of my former coworkers from Lowe's who like have to go to physical therapy three or more times a week. You know, because they're crippled from their job. You know, I don't want to be like that. Like, I don't want to be crippled from my job. You know, to where you spend your entire younger years working your ass off, physically lifting stuff that's too heavy or something, you know, and breaking your back, and then by the time you get to enjoy your retirement, you're in too much pain to enjoy it. You're like, what the fuck is life living for? What are we living for? You know, like, why are we doing this? I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to do that. Um, I think that's another reason why I want to sell chainmail. It's like, even though I might bust my hands over it, it's still more enjoyable than what I'm doing, you know? And at least I'm making money for myself. I don't know. I'm just tired. I'm tired of fighting for companies to see my worth as a human being and to see that, like, I'm willing to work, but I'm not willing to fucking, you know, kill myself over it. Like, you have a company and like you know, you know what I mean. I've already said it. Like, it's rough, you know, and I think a lot of people are hurting right now. And I hate to see it. And when I see my coworkers suffer, I get so defensive and so upset for on their behalf because they've been working with a company for 15 years or something, and then they take a piss out of them and make them do like 3 persons jobs. You know, they tack on all this extra work, and it's like, do you expect to retain your employees? Like, do you expect people to feel valued in your company? Like, when you are like, oh, surprise, now you have to do, not only do you have to sell on the floor all day and stand on your feet and put back clothing, now you also have to do markdowns. So you have to ticket all these items that are in your department, and you also have to place all the product, the brand new product that comes to the floor. So now you have receiving's job. Now you have uh, oh my god, it's just so much. And it's like I'm one of the lucky ones at my job. You know, like at least they didn't touch my department. You know, like I got off the sales floor. You know, before they could push me around too much. You know, it's like, oh my goodness. You know, what do you do? What do you do when you're just fighting so hard and making so little? And it's like you just get into this feeling of despair. How do you guys deal with it? How do you deal with it? Do you just start your own business and hope it kicks off? But with the state of the economy right now, no one's buying jewelry, right? Like, no one's, everybody's buying necessary stuff. It's just rough. It's rough for everybody right now. Um, so, I also want to get out of Florida. You know, I said that in my last video, that I'm scared about how conservative this state is, and um, I'm not sure if it's better elsewhere either. You know, right now, like they keep trying to pass law, like really conservative laws, and they keep getting shot down, and it's like certain things are getting passed here and there. It's just happening at such an accelerated rate right now. I have no idea what's going on, and I'm just trying to catch up on Twitter, and I'm just getting so discouraged and disheartened that I'm like, I can't. I had to, like, you know, remove Twitter from my phone so I wouldn't like just keep clicking on it and doom scrolling, um, and just seeing all the crap going on. You know, like I didn't think when I became a transgender man that my entire existence would be put into question. I didn't go into being a trans man as like, oh, I want to be a guy. Like, so I want to get, like, I mean, I felt like, in the beginning, I felt like I needed to uh, fully transition because, you know, society says there are X and Y genders. Like, there is male and female, there is no in between. But then when I started meeting more trans people, I started reading about more trans people, I started being more comfortable in my own body. Like, I realized that there's no such thing as 2 different genders. Like, there's more than one. And I feel like I'm physical proof of it, you know? And after that, like, I was able to become myself. And to think that there are people out there who think that I should not exist, and I should be corrected through electroshock therapy, and that there's absolutely something wrong with me chemically, which maybe hormonally I've got some imbalances, but which I had as a woman. But testosterone is fucking almost cured it. Like I used to have suicidal hormonal mood swings as a woman, and now I feel like I can live. Like I feel like I'm not bursting into tears every other day or every day. I feel like I don't have this intense wave of depression all the time, and that probably would, also finding myself and becoming more confident in who I was and more happy with my own body, that also contributed to my happiness. Um, so, like, when I think about, like, how people want to take away my access to testosterone, um, it makes me feel like they want me dead. Because I felt suicidal. I wanted to die before I started taking testosterone. Um, and like I went to endocrinologists too, and they didn't know what to do. Like, what are you gonna do for people like that? If you take that away, what are you gonna do for people who suffer from hormonal imbalances and need to take test? What about women who need to take testosterone? In order to help their own hormonal imbalances. They low dose testosterone sometimes, or estrogen. So it's like it's it's daunting to me, like, to think about, like, uh, people think I'm ill, and maybe I am, but I'm happy. I'm not hurting anybody, like, I'm not diddling children like some people think trans people do. Oh my god. Uh, it's just gross, like, some of the things you see. So that's why I'm trying to stay off Twitter. uh, you see the 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 hatred that some trans women have to deal with every day, because they don't pass as well as I do, or trans men that they have to deal with, and it's hurt. It hurts. I, I feel for them, I don't want people to suffer, and it's not okay. Um, I just, I wish it were different, I wish it were different for a lot of people. Um, on a lighter note, let's get off that subject. Excuse me. Um, what else is going on? What's coming up? What is coming up? I'm thinking about downloading some dating apps again and getting myself out there, because I'm kind of looking for a partner, another partner for our open marriage. Um, not, I have in the past looked for somebody who uh, would mesh with both my husband and I, like, sexually as well, and it's very, very difficult to find someone who meshes with you personality wise and sexuality wise and your partner. Um, but, like, personality wise, like, if you mesh with me, you mesh with my husband. Like, we're two peas in a pod. Like, we get along so well. Like, if you love me, you love him. It goes hand in hand. Um, and we're extremely respectful and kind to people, and we're not jealous at all. But it's hard to find someone who isn't jealous of that, when people who are not used to being treated well, um, they they don't have a relationship, sometimes they get really possessive and they say stuff like, I've had guys, my husband has been in relationship with men where they have said to him, you should leave your at the time I was his wife, you should leave your wife and marry me. I would treat you so much better. And that ended real quick because my husband's not interested in that. We literally are soulmates. There's no way you're busting us apart. And so it's difficult to find people who are okay with not marrying one of us, and because they only get along with one of us sexually or something, so they want one of us all to themselves, and they're like, oh, you're so sweet, you're so kind, and we mesh so well, and it's like, oh, come marry me, and it's like, oh my goodness, a few bad eggs here and there, but my husband did find somebody who was really sweet and didn't mesh with me, because he, like, personality wise, fine, we got along great, we're good friends, but like, he was gay, so he didn't, not too into me, naturally, so but we I'm talking in circles a little bit. We're good at. I'll find somebody. Like, I downloaded Grindr like last year and like deleted it immediately because I got spooked because of how quickly people will DM you, like, after they see your pictures. They're like, and they'll just spew nudes at you. And so I kind of ghosted two people. The first person was really sweet. They were like, hey, do you want to come over and chill sometime? Love that. Love the chillness. Love how he approached the conversation, very casual, not like, now, like, I'm like, no, I don't want STDs. Which I have gotten STDs in the past. We have caught chlamydia twice, from partners who, the first time, the guy said that he was clean, and he wasn't, and so I caught chlamydia from him. And it was a threesome with me and my husband and him, and which is treatable, by the way, just in case you were wondering. It's easily cured with antibiotics, but it freaked me the frick out to the point where I had not pursued anybody else intimately for years afterward. And then my husband caught it from a guy who, his partner was seeing another partner, and he didn't use protection with his new partner, so he gave it to his partner who was with my husband. And that, I told my husband, if you ever get an STD from someone, we're cutting him off immediately, like, that's it, and so that ended immediately. And he was really apologetic, and he's like, it sucks, you were really awesome, like, yeah, cool, yeah. We know you bone well, honey, but yeah, we're not dealing with that crap. And so if you're not safe, then I don't want to be with you, not something I mess around with because I don't want to get something incurable. You know, I got lucky, you know, those times. So at this point of my life, I'm like, papers, please. Like, because I don't trust people, you know, or protection. Like, protection only right now for me. Um, yeah. So, yeah, I get spooked a little bit. So, yeah. I think I might try to go out there again. Be really careful this time. Be, you know, very cautious and hopefully find somebody I mesh with, you know. Maybe find some new friends, you know, if we don't mesh that way, you know. Because I've heard lots of people make friends off dating apps too. So I'm getting a little lonely and I want somebody who I can, like, you know, feel comfortable with hanging out with and, like, just, I mean, not that I don't feel comfortable hanging out with my friends or anything, but I would like to be able to have a more intimate connection with someone at the moment uh, in that way. So, yeah, I know I probably seem very greedy to the single ladies out there. I'm sorry. um, uh, keep looking. There's always somebody out there. I'm looking for loving, you know. But the only thing that's been stopping me lately is not talking to people. I'm so scared to talk to people. I have a huge fear of talking to people. It's a lot of energy for me to talk to people, and I get scared easily. So, you know, it's hard to find somebody who makes you feel safe. So, maybe I'll find somebody. You know, I think there's always somebody out there. You know, I was watching this show called How to Build a Sex Room, and it there was this episode where there was this poly family, and there were 7 people in the family. I'm like, holy crap! Like, how did they make that happen? You know, like, and I could tell like the dynamic of it, you know, immediately. I could tell who ran the show in their relationship. But what they did, which I thought was pretty cool, was because everybody, it's so hard to like mesh with somebody when you live with them, you know, because you have to get used to everybody's cleaning patterns, you have to get used to everybody's habits, you have to coordinate things, you know, with people, and I imagine like having more than, you know, 2 or 3 people in the house is like, oh, that's a lot, you know. So what they did was they had one house where they all met up and like had they designed like a awesome she designed this massive bed. It's like a 10-foot bed. um can you imagine buying sheets for that? Oh my god, I would have told her to like she designed the whole bed and everything and built it into the wall. I imagine like if I was part of that show, I would be like, okay, now you give me like at least 4 sheet sets because I don't want to have to order these special. Like I'd have to order them custom, you know. They'd have to order them custom. But they made one house the like hangout house. So they built a huge bed so they could all mess around and have fun on it together. Like all 7 of them fit on this bed at once. It was huge. And then they had a really cool drop down movie theater screen so they could all lay on the bed and watch a movie together, which I thought was so cute. And then behind that, they had like a whole sex dungeon where they had like kink play. They built in a massive walk-in shower. God, I love showers. I love when people design really cool showers with like seating and, you know, creative faucets and stuff like that, and like make it beautiful. Like, I love a good shower, a nice, spacious, and nice shower. Um, and they had like benches. They had this bench where there was like a cage underneath, so they could do like cage play, which I don't know if I would be into that or whatever, but apparently they liked cage play. And then they had like place where you can get, hooked up and like, flogged or something, or like tickled or whatever, sensory play, and teasing and stuff like that. And yeah, so it looked really cool after she designed it. And I was like, oh, that sounds like something more achievable in a polyamorous relationship, rather than having everybody live together, because not everybody's gonna mesh, and people need time to like decompress. I think, especially myself, like, as I've gotten older, I've realized that I need time to myself, and I need to step away quite frequently sometimes from social situations. Like, if we're sometimes during D&D, like right after D&D, like, because we have 4-hour sessions, like, I'll have to come to my room and like do chainmail and watch something for a while before I can go back and talk to our friends or something. Or like, yeah, I just get pretty fatigued sometimes, socially. So like, I have to have like a decompression space for myself. So I thought that was pretty cool that they had that space for their family. Um, so I hope to have something similar someday, like, just lots of love in my life. I feel like I have so much love with Nick that I just want to share it, and just be open and free, and just love, and I I love it. I love who I am now, I love my body. I love who I am becoming as a person, and I'm proud of myself. And I just feel like I'm so happy that I just want to spend some intimate time with other people, other than my husband, which my husband is absolutely okay with. And I'm really grateful for that. Uh, and yeah, so those are some things that I'm looking forward to. I will let you guys go because I'm nodding off right now. I'm so tired, and I'm talking about weird stuff. When do I not talk about weird stuff? Let's be honest, guys. Come on now. It's Koei. Yeah. Okay, bye.